Have you ever noticed how your relationships, opportunities, or even your luck seem to match how you feel about yourself? Maybe you've wondered why certain patterns keep repeating, why you attract the same kind of partner, the same type of job, or the same results, no matter how much you try to change. What if it's not just coincidence? What if the energy we put out, the confidence we carry, the limits we set, even the way we talk to ourselves, quietly signals to the world what we think we deserve? Today, we're diving into that idea. Do we actually attract what we think we deserve? And more importantly, if that's true, how can we shift what we believe we deserve so we start attracting better things into our lives? Stick around, because this isn't just about mindset, it's about how your sense of worth might be shaping your entire reality, often without you even realizing it. The core idea: self-worth as a magnet. So what does it really mean when we say we attract what we think we deserve? At its core, it's about self-worth as a magnet. Our self-concept, the way we see ourselves, quietly filters what we allow, accept, or even notice in our lives. In psychology, this connects to what's called self-esteem theory. Essentially, we're wired to seek experiences that confirm what we already believe about ourselves. If you see yourself as confident and capable, you naturally move toward people and situations that reinforce that identity. But if deep down you feel unworthy or undeserving, you might unconsciously gravitate toward or tolerate things that match that belief. Then there's cognitive dissonance, the mental tension we feel when reality doesn't align with what we believe. When something good comes along that challenges our low sense of worth, like a healthy relationship, recognition, or success, it actually creates discomfort. And to resolve that discomfort, we often reject it, minimize it, or sabotage it, just to stay consistent with the story we've been telling ourselves. Think of someone who's never truly believed they deserve love. They finally meet a partner who treats them with kindness and respect, but instead of feeling safe, they feel uneasy. They might start finding reasons to pull away or doubt the person's intentions, not because they don't want love, but because it doesn't match the version of themselves they've come to believe in. In that way, our self-worth becomes like an invisible thermostat, quietly setting the temperature of what we think we deserve and adjusting everything else to match. The science and psychology behind it. So if our self-worth acts like a magnet, how does that actually work in the brain? Enter the reticular activating system, or RAS. Think of it as your brain's internal filter. It sifts through all the noise in your environment and highlights the things that match what you're focused on, or what you believe is possible for you. For example, if you believe you're unworthy of success, your RAS will filter life in a way that makes failures or missed opportunities more noticeable and successes less obvious. Your brain isn't lying. It's just scanning the world through the lens of your self-concept. This ties into confirmation bias. We naturally notice evidence that confirms our existing beliefs and ignore what doesn't. So if deep down you believe you don't deserve a promotion, a raise, or a healthy relationship, you're more likely to see obstacles and setbacks instead of opportunities, even when they rewrite in front of you. Some people call this the law of attraction. The idea is that mindset and emotion influence what we attract. From a psychological standpoint, it's less about magic and more about perception. Your thoughts and feelings shape what you notice, how you respond, and what you allow into your life. As the saying goes, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe you deserve. It's a powerful reminder that the inner story you carry about yourself isn't just a private thought, it's quietly guiding the experiences you live. The science is clear. Our brains, our biases, and even the way we perceive the world all reinforce what we believe we deserve. Understanding this is the first step toward changing it. Now that we understand the psychology behind it, let's look at how this plays out in everyday life. Take careers, for instance. Many people consistently underprice their skills or settle for jobs that don't fulfill them, not because the opportunities aren't there, but because deep down, they don't feel they deserve more. They might avoid asking for raises, decline promotions, or accept less challenging roles, all unconsciously reflecting the limits they've placed on themselves. Or consider relationships. Someone with low self-worth may stay in toxic dynamics because they believe this is the best they can get. Even when healthy, supportive connections come along, the fear or discomfort of receiving something better can make them sabotage the very love they deserve. And it's not just others. It's also about what we allow ourselves to achieve. Procrastination, self-doubt, or self-sabotage often mirrors the belief that we aren't capable of reaching bigger goals. That dream project, fitness milestone, or creative ambition? Sometimes it's stopped by nothing external, only the internal voice saying, I can't, I don't deserve it, or it won't work out. The common thread isn't luck, it's belief. The patterns we see in our careers, relationships, and personal growth aren't random. They're a reflection of how we value ourselves and what we allow ourselves to receive. When you start noticing these patterns, it's not about blaming yourself. It's about seeing the invisible rules you've been living by and realizing you have the power to rewrite them. How to change what you attract. Understanding the patterns is one thing. But the real question is, how do you start attracting what you truly deserve? Here's a step-by-step approach to shift your inner beliefs and align your reality with higher self-worth. The first step is awareness. Notice the recurring patterns in your life. Where are you settling? Where do you push away opportunities, love, or success? Simply observing these patterns without judgment is powerful. It gives you the clarity to change them. Next, challenge your inner dialogue. That voice that says, I don't deserve this, is just a story you've been repeating. Start replacing it with something gentler and empowering, like, I'm learning to receive better. It's subtle, but changing the story you tell yourself shifts how you perceive the world and what you allow in. Step 3. Behavioral alignment. Belief alone isn't enough. It must be matched by action. Make small choices that reflect your growing sense of self-worth. Say no when something doesn't serve you. Set clear boundaries. Apply for that bigger opportunity, even if it feels intimidating. These actions signal to your brain and the world that you value yourself and expect more. Finally, use visualization and gratitude to reprogram your reticular activating system. Focus on what you want, not what you fear. Visualize receiving the opportunities, relationships, and outcomes you deserve, and practice gratitude for even the small wins along the way. Over time, your mind starts noticing and aligning with possibilities that match your elevated sense of worth. Changing what you attract isn't about forcing luck or controlling everything. It's about raising the baseline of how you see yourself, then living in alignment with that belief, one thought, one choice, and one action at a time. At the end of the day, it all comes back to this. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you think you deserve. The patterns in your career, relationships, and personal growth aren't random. They're mirrors of the beliefs you hold about yourself. So here's a question to sit with. What if your next breakthrough doesn't depend on working harder, pushing more, or trying to control outcomes, but on truly believing you deserve better? Take a moment to reflect, and if you feel like sharing, drop a comment below. What's one area where you've been settling, and what would it look like to raise your standards there? If this message spoke to you, give it a like, share it with someone who might need the reminder, and subscribe for more deep dives like this, exploring mindset, self-worth, and the psychology of personal growth. Remember, changing what you attract starts from the inside. Start believing it, and watch your world begin to follow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.